Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello guys, it's me again, Fadillah Amri Firdaus. In this video, I will retell you a story from the novel that I have read entitled The Sands of Time. This novel is a 1988 action novel by author Sydney Sheldon. The novel follows the adventures of four women who are forced to leave their Spanish convent for the outside world of threat, violence, and passions, and two men who are pitted against each other in a fight to the death. In 1976, Pamplona, Spain, the Basque people who are fighting for autonomy against the Spanish government. ETA leader Jaime Miró, along with friends Ricardo Melado and Felix Carpio, escaped from prison. During a sabotaged bull running event used as a distraction, many civilians lost their lives. Prime Minister assigns Colonel Ramon Acoca, head of the anti-ETA group GOA, to capture Jaime Miró. Acoca's wife and unborn child were killed in a Basque demonstration involving ETA and the church. Suspecting Jaime hiding in a convent, Acoca decides to raid it by force, disregarding the consequences. In a Cistercian convent near Avila, Reverend Mother Bettina oversees a community of women who seek solitude, worship, and fasting. When the GOA raids the convent, assaulting the raping and the sisters, four nuns manage to escape. The eldest nun, Teresa, is entrusted with protecting the convent's valuable gold cross and taking it to a safe place. The four nuns have distinct backgrounds. Lucia, a mafia don's daughter, seeking refuge after committing murder. Graciela, who found solace in the convent after a tumultuous family life. Megan, abandoned and longing to discover her true family. And Teresa, who turned to a religious life after her sister stole her fiancé. Lucia plans to steal the golden cross from the convent to fund her escape to Switzerland. They encounter a man named Carrillo posing as a priest, but overpower him. The sisters change clothes to blend in while traveling. However, they are captured by Jaime and his group, who fear the sisters will reveal their location. They are taken to Jaime's hideout. Colonel Acoca suspects Jaime Miró and the missing nuns. The Prime Minister is skeptical but orders the search to avoid public scrutiny. They receive a tip from Carrillo, leading them to pursue further leads. Meanwhile, Sister Teresa, anxious after years of solitude, becomes paranoid of those around her. Seeing a father with a baby stroller, she worries it might be her ex-fiancé and his child, but rationalizes that the infant should be an adult by now. Meanwhile, Ellen Scott, a former middle-class worker turned bitter, marries Milo Scott and witnesses the mistreatment of Milo by his brother Byron, the CEO of Scott Industries. They abandon Byron's daughter, Patricia, fearing she will inherit the company. However, they later discover that Milo will inherit company, leaving them guilty for abandoning Patricia. Milo dies, and Alan, now the CEO, hires securities chief Alan Tucker to search for a baby abandoned in Avila, Spain, implying its sister Megan. Sister Teresa, driven to madness, believes she is being targeted by terrorists hired by her former fiancé. She leaves the Golden Cross with Lucia and informs Colonel Akoka of their location. Akoka's team raids the camp and the group splits to avoid capture. Sister Teresa is interrogated but cannot provide useful information due to her mental state. She is subjected to rape and feeling abandoned by God. Retaliates by shooting some of her captors before being killed. Meanwhile, Alan Tucker investigates in Avila and discovers that the baby is Patricia Scott. Realizing her potential as an heiress, he plans to blackmail Alan for a business partnership. Lucia enjoys the company of Rubio, but remains focused on her plan to obtain her money. Jaime contemplates his past as a terrorist and his complicated relationship with the church. He forms a friendship with Megan, which upset Amparo. During their stay at a hotel, the police are called, but the group narrowly escapes. Lucia and Rubio share a moment of understanding through prayer. While bathing in the stream, Lucia nearly drowns, but is saved by Rubio, leading to an intimate encounter. Rubio wants to marry Lucia, but she remains focused on reaching Switzerland. They obtain a passport and money, but during dinner, Rubio is stabbed while defending Lucia. Seeking refuge in a church, Lucia does her best to care for him, but is eventually forced to take him to a hospital. Both are arrested when authorities identify Rubio as a terrorist and Lucia as a wanted criminal from Italy. Sister Graciela initially refuses to speak to Ricardo during their journey, frustrating him. However, when she is nearly attacked by a wolf in a cave, she starts opening up to him. Despite her resistance, Graciela finds herself falling in love with Ricardo, and they decided to marry. Alan Tucker visits the orphanage to gather information about Megan or Patricia, but hits a dead end when the owner reveals conflicting arrival dates. Unbeknownst to him, Ellen paid the owner to change the dates, hiding the truth about Patricia's survival. Amparo grows resentful of Jaime and Megan's relationship. They hide out at a bullfight where Megan impresses Jaime with her knowledge. Learning about Rubio and Lucia's arrest and Sister Teresa's death saddens Megan. She sympathizes with Jaime's ideals despite her aversion to violence. Jaime robs a bank and Megan saves him from Akoka, who suspects Felix of betrayal. Amparo lures Akoka away while Megan pretends to be an angry wife. Confronting Amparo, she expresses her disgust with the violence and is kept with the group to prevent her from escaping. Akoka tricks Jaime into a meeting at a convent, but he realizes it's a trap and escapes with Graciela, Ricardo to the countryside. Jaime deceives Amparo with sleeping pills, allowing them to leave while she sleeps. He convinces Megan to wait in France with his aunt until he finishes his fight, so they can marry. Megan discusses leaving the convent with Graciela. In a Basque town, Akoka confronts Jaime, but with the support of the Basque people, Akoka retreats, knowing his failure. Alan locates Megan and reveals that Ellen has been searching for her. Megan promises to return to Jaime, and Alan realizes she is Patricia, and Ellen had a role in concealing the truth. During their wedding, Graciela decided to return to the convent. Rubio and Lucia are rescued from prison and reunited. Lucia goes to Switzerland to retrieve a large sum of money. Megan forgives Ellen, learns to run the company, and eventually inherits it. Jaime is sentenced to death, but miraculously survives and escapes with Megan's help. Lucia and Rubio lead a simple life in the French countryside with their twin children. Graciela returns to the convent and resumes her previous life. I think that's all for my presentation novel about the novel The Sense of Time by Sydney Sheldon. Thank you very much for your attention. Don't forget to hit like button and subscribe if you want. Thank you very much for your attention. See you next time and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.